Alright, another story from my boys in the comments. That Juul starter pack video low-key blew up. I didn't think it was going to. That shit has almost like 6,000 views. But here's a story. First time smoking that reefer, that ganja, that kush, that OG, that cannabis, that marijuana, that weed. There's probably like so many fucking names for it, dude. It's probably like the most. Tell me something that has more names than that. Tell me something that has more fucking aliases than that word. I don't think there is a word that has more AKAs than that. But anyways, first time smoking weed. What do we got here? How am I gonna start this? Okay, so this is gonna take some explaining, but in my town, there's a hella bud. Like, it's a big weed smoking. It's a big drug town in general, because there's not shit else to do, and there's like hella trailer parks and shit like that, like motels and shit, like where people like for a fact people are selling like hard drugs out of there. But anywhere there's hard drugs, there's hella weed, like hella weed. And not to mention we're like 20 minutes away from Charlotte, where there's fucking hella weed plugs that sell like pounds and shit. Like, you can get rich off that shit. And you just gotta be real careful, because people will try to take that shit from you if you're not careful. But okay, enough talking about my town. Oh yeah, I gotta talk about my town for like a little bit more, because so during the summer only in my town, every third Friday in summer, they do this thing called Friday Night Live, which is downtown Belmont, where the town that I live in, and they'll have like a band. They'll block off all the streets, and they'll have like a bunch of food stands, and it's basically just like a big party on Friday night, like the whole town participates in. A bunch of kids running around with money, buying candy and shit, and fucking turning up. And I was in sixth or seventh grade, which makes me like 10 or 11 years old. But so I knew what it was, but I'd never I'm fucking 11 years old, like I'd never done it before. But I knew about it, and so I was just walking around, like I wasn't even with anybody. I just walked from my house to downtown, which ain't that far. It's like a 20-minute walk. And I was just fucking walking around, 11-year-old. It's a cool celebration. Like, it's a cool place to be, just to walk around and kind of see what's up. I had some quarters in my pocket. I was about to go buy some candy. And I was the middle school that I went to is right downtown, like where the celebration is happening. But there's nobody there, obviously. But it's like up on a hill, like kind of away from where the celebration was. So there wasn't really nobody up there. But I went up there to the track. I saw some friends down at Main Street where the party was, and I was walking up there, just like kind of exploring around, and I saw this black dude that I knew from school. His name was Ometric. He was like a dreadhead dude. He was like 13, I think, or 14, maybe at the time, and he'd already had a kid. This dude had a kid at that age. Like, he had a kid at this time in the story. And And I saw him and I walked over to him. I was like, "What's up, Mitchell? What you doing up here, bro?" Because he was up there like where nobody was, you know, away from the celebration, up on the track at the school. And he's like, "You trying to help me smoke this blunt?" And he pulls out a blunt. And I was like, "Shit, might as well." And so he lit it, took a couple hits, passed it to me. And I was like, "Well, shit, I guess I'm about to get high." And so I didn't really know like how to breathe it in. And so I just sucked that shit straight in. Like I didn't put it in my mouth first and then breathe it in or anything. I just sucked that shit straight in. And I started coughing like fuck. Like I was coughing my ass off. I remember I could not stop coughing. Mainly because I was fucking 11 years old, hitting a blunt. And could not stop coughing. And he was laughing at how much I was coughing. Because, he's a fucking stoner. And already as a kid. Like, this nigga was like, he was a hood ass dude. Like, had a kid at 13 years old, smoking bud nonstop. Fucking already, well, you can't really, I don't know. Can't really blame him, bro. Ain't nothing to do in this town. But, yeah, we were just smoking it, and, eventually that bitch is a roach. And I was still coughing my ass off. Every time I hit it, I was coughing my ass off. But I was just kept on hitting it. And once we were done, we dapped up. And he's like, "All right, bro, I'm going to head home." And I was like, "All right." And I don't think I was high yet, but I was feeling something. I was feeling a little buzz. And then I was like, "Well, shit, I'm going to go walk back down to this celebration. This party. Friday Night Live." So I walked back down to Main Street, where the celebration was. And as soon as I got down to that Main Street, it hit me. And all the lights were so bright. I was looking around at everything like, bro, this is crazy. The music was it was like country. And I hate country, but I was fucking vibing to it. Like, I was fucking into that shit. I don't even know what song it was, but I was like, I was so fucking like, what's the word? Like, I was in awe of the celebration. Like, I was appreciating the celebration. And I was like, looking around, enjoying myself, like, looking at all the people dancing and shit. And it kind of seemed like it was going, like, a little bit slow. Like, slow motion, but, like, happy as fuck. And I went and bought some candy. And I was eating it. Then I walked over to these benches. And I saw some of my friends from school. And I walked over to them, and they looked at me, and they were like, "Why are your eyes so glassy? What the fuck?" Like, they were looking at me, and they're like, "Your eyes are red and glassy." And I was like, "What? No, they not. Shut up, right?" Like, in my mind, I was like, these niggas gonna fucking get me arrested. But they didn't even know they probably didn't even know what weed was. But yeah, these were like the good kids. And I was like, I told them I had allergies, and they're like, "Oh, okay." And so we just kept talking, and some dude told a joke, like, or not a joke, but like we were just like kind of clowning around, and I was fucking dying laughing. I don't even know. I think I was just laughing at how fucking stupid they were, but I was just laughing so hard at everything they were saying. And I just remember like mainly the lights, like the lights were so bright and beautiful. Like the whole celebration was just like beautiful looking, like, and I was so happy to be alive. I just fucking enjoying the night. It's a great night, man. First time I ever smoked weed. Fucking bomb ass night. Then after that, after that night, I didn't smoke. Like, that's not when I became a pothead. I was like I smoked on and off, like, like, uh, like once a month type shit, like, from then until, like, I was 14-ish, maybe. Like, whenever you're a freshman in high school is when you're 14, right? Freshman year of high school. That's when I started, like, every day, morning when I wake up, night before I go to sleep. like that kind of smoke. So yeah, first time I smoked. You want to hear more stories? Leave a comment. It's your boy, Twist Premium. Alright, I'm ending it.